Hello students, welcome back to the Smart Box. We will be watching today our 7th chapter, that is motion, force and work. Okay, this is the part 1 of our video. First of all, we will be studying that what is a motion. Okay, whenever we push or pull something, okay, that or any object is changing its position is known as motion. Okay, anything is doing any work, okay, we are pulling or pushing something from one place to another, the work is done, that is known as motion. So all these things are related to movement. Okay, so let's start with a very simple definition, that is distance and displacement. What do you mean by distance and displacement? Now suppose if we are at position A and we travel to position B, okay, from A to B it is 500 meters, okay, and then from B to C it is 700 meters, and then again from C to D it is 300 meters. Okay, so when we add it, we are traveling 500 plus 700 plus 300 meters. Okay, so we are in total moving 1500 meters. Okay, we are traveling in total 1500 meters in total. Okay, so this is nothing but your distance. Okay, whatever your path is covered is known as distance. Okay, but फ्रॉम योर इनिशियल पॉइंट, इनिशियल मतलब जहाँ पर आप पहले थे, एंड योर फाइनल पॉइंट, दैट मीन्स कि अब आप कहाँ पर पहुँच चुके हो. द टोटल स्ट्रेट लाइन व्हेन यू ड्रॉ फ्रॉम ए टू डी, that point from A to D is nothing but your displacement. Okay, whenever you travel a distance, whenever you travel from a path is known as distance, but a straight line from your initial point to the final point is known as displacement. Suppose your building is here and your school is here, but your road is like this. Okay, your road is like this, है ना, but you travel directly, you don't travel directly from here till here. Okay, you don't travel from here to here, you travel from here to here. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to tell that this is your distance, and a straight line from your initial position to the final position is known as displacement. Okay, this is the difference between distance and displacement. This is the thing which you have to write it in your book. Okay, next, speed and velocity. What is meant by speed? Speed क्या होता है? Okay, speed is always related to the distance. Okay, and velocity is always related to the displacement. Okay, so speed is nothing but distance upon time, and velocity is nothing but displacement upon time. These are the two formulas for speed and distance. Okay, next let's find out the unit. Now let's find out the unit. How do we find the unit? We know that distance upon time is the speed, is the formula for speed, right? So now what we will be doing, we will be taking that if distance we are taking in kilometers or meters, whatever unit we are taking, if suppose we are taking meters, okay, and time is always in seconds. Okay, so these two units, that is distance and time, are getting what? They are getting divided. So distance is your meter and time is your second. So speed will be nothing but your meter per second. And again velocity will also be, displacement is also measured in meters and time is always measured in second. So again the velocity, the unit for velocity will also be meter per second. Okay, this is nothing but the unit of the speed and velocity. The unit of speed and velocity is written as meter per second. See here, you all can see this. Okay, so this also you have to write. This is the explanation which I have given you all in short. Okay, next is acceleration. What is the formula for acceleration? First of all, change in velocity upon time taken for change. Okay, Now what do you mean by change in velocity? Suppose a train is moving with the velocity of 50 km per hour. Okay, 50 किलोमीटर पर आवर की स्पीड से जो है एक ट्रेन जो है वो ट्रैवल कर रही है. ओके, नाउ इट इज़ ट्रैवलिंग विथ 50 किलोमीटर पर आवर. इट्स इनिशियल velocity is nothing but 50 kilometer per hour. Okay, now it is traveling in a regular interval and suppose it has to apply brake. Okay, station आने वाला है and it has to apply brake. Now its velocity over here is 30 kilometer per hour. Okay, 30 kilometer per hour उसकी velocity हो गई है. This is the final velocity. Okay, this is the final velocity. Now what do you mean by change in velocity? At first the velocity was 50 and now it is 30. If we subtract it, the change in velocity is of 30 km per hour, है ना. चेंज कितना हुआ है वेलोसिटी? 20 किलोमीटर पर आवर जो है वो वेलोसिटी क्या हो गया है? चेंज हो गया है. सो here the answer will be 20 kilometer. Okay, now how much time it has taken from year to year to change? Suppose it has taken 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds to change its velocity, then 20 upon 30. Okay, so 0 0 will get cancelled, 2 upon 3. And now what was the unit for change in velocity? Suppose it was kilometer per hour and here it was seconds, so here it will be seconds. So the unit will be nothing but kilometer per hour will be getting cancelled. Okay, so the acceleration will be nothing but kilometer per hour itself. Okay, so here you all can see that do you know that the truck driver increases or decreases the velocity of the truck by the means of accelerator. एक accelerator होता है जिसके ऊपर हम लोग ऐसे पैर दबाते हैं तो the truck or the car or whatever we are driving that gets accelerated or its speed get increased or get decreased. You might have seen a toy car runs on a clockwork spring. When it is released on the flat floor after winding up the spring, it goes in the straight line. However, when it is hit on the side, it changes the direction and keeps going. If it collides into a wall, it stops. It means that its velocity changes. How did the change take place? It happens because of the car comes in contact with this, something external to it. On a football ground, how does the direction of the ball moving in a straight line change? We have some players changing its direction by kicking it. When its direction changes, the velocity of the ball changes. That is to say that an acceleration takes place. The interaction that brings about the acceleration is called force. Force acts on a body. Okay, so what it's trying to say is nothing but whenever we need to change the direction of any object, we need to change its velocity. Okay, it is giving the example of a football that in a ground, if we are playing a football, okay, the football will be kicked over here. So suppose the football has been kicked over here and it is passed over here, 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 and then it is put in the goal. Okay, so however the football is changing its direction, the player is first stopping the ball and then kicking it and passing to the another player. So whenever the ball is being directed in other direction, the velocity of the ball is changing very quickly. That is nothing but your acceleration. Okay, next is force, displacement and work. Okay, these three things are very important. In figure, alongside a string attached to a wooden block on a table is passed over a pulley and tied to the weight. Okay, you all can see that here it is called, this is called as pulley. Okay, यहाँ से आप इसको अगर नीचे खींचोगे तो यहाँ पर एक ऐसे वायर ऐसे लगा रहता है जिसकी वजह से ये आसानी से ऊपर नीचे जाता है. यू ऑल मस्ट हैव सीन इट एंड वेल में आपने इसको देखा होगा, कुएँ में ये लगा रहता है ताकि पानी आप खींच करके कुएँ में से निकाल सको. ओके, sufficient weight, the block will be seen to move. Which force is being applied here? How कैन दिस फोर्स बी इंक्रीज. ओके, यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे हमने एक वेट लगा दिया है एंड दिस वेट इज कनेक्टेड विद अ स्ट्रिंग टू अ ब्लॉक. ओके, सो दिस वुडन ब्लॉक विल स्टार्ट मूविंग. ओके, why this wooden block will be started moving? Because this weight is directed downwards. Okay, but you are not pushing this weight, but this weight is itself going downwards. So which force has been applied? The gravitational force is applied. Okay, gravitational force is applied over here. Why? Because we are not pulling this weight, but earth itself is pulling the weight downwards, and then when the weight is pulled downwards, the block is moving to the right hand side. What will happen on applying more force? When we can see the work is done by applied force. Okay, so we can see that when the force is applied, चाहे ये ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स हो या फिर हमने अपनी तरफ से कोई फोर्स अप्लाई किया हो, द force is, when the force is applied, then and then only the work is done. If the block moves forwards, we can say that it has displaced. Due to the displacement, we say that the force has done some work. Okay, so again, when the force is applied, obviously the body will be changing its place, so that we will say that the displacement has took place. Okay, so when there is a applied force and the displacement had changed itself, then only we can say that the work is done. Can we measure this work? We know that the work done depends on the force and displacement. The following express the relationship. Okay, so what is the relationship between force, work and displacement? Here it is the formula. S means displacement, F means force, and W means work done. So this formula you have to write it in your book. What is the formula? Work done is equal to force into displacement. This is the formula. Okay, now what will be the unit of work done? The unit of work done will be joule. This is a very important thing. This you have to write. You won't write this in your book, but this you have to write the formula and the unit of the work done. That is what? Joule. Okay, the unit of work done is joule, while the unit of force is Newton, and the unit of displacement is meter. In CGS we can write it as Newton meter. In what? CGS. Okay, but in SI system, SI unit system, the unit is joule. Okay, so this finishes our small chapter over here. If you have any doubt in this video, you can comment us down, and if you are a new viewer, do not forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching the Smart Box.